Welcome to Season 2 of Hey Emma, the podcast where a teen girl and her dad discuss the challenges and fundamentals of living a teenage life.
In Season 2, you'll find a plethora of new topics ranging from really serious to really uplifting and overall a really fun time.
So join us as we aspire to help many teens and their parents live a more fulfilling life. It's
Hey Emma. Hey Emma.
Hey Dad.
Today we're going to talk about pets.
We're going to talk about what it means to have one and what the right age is to have one.
Okay, let's get started.
Let's go.
I find it interesting that we're going to talk about pets today, considering your dog is staring at me right now.
Yeah.
Do you think he knows we're going to talk about him?
I don't know. Cubby, do you think we're going to talk about you?
See, he's not even staring at you, he's staring at me. So, about pets. You had brought up the idea of what do you think is an ideal age to get a pet?
Yeah.
And what kind of pet would that be?
Well, obviously, if you want to have a pet, you have to start off with a fish because that's like the getting to know if you're ready for a pet or not.
But you didn't start off with a fish.
No, I did not.
Are you the exception?
No, I'm not.
So, why would you say that?
Because even though that is kind of like stereotypical, it's also very like useful because there's so many fish in the sea. And
A little cliched.
But I mean, it's really easy to just take care of a fish, and it's something that almost any age could do. Not almost any age, but like any young child can learn how to take care of. So.
Okay, so let's use the example of your sister, Lauren. She has a fish.
Her second one.
Because the first two.
Lost an eye.
First two died.
Yeah.
I'm not sure she's ready for caring for fish because she doesn't have a very good track record with it.
No, I don't think so either. I don't even know why you guys got her third one, but...
We got her the third one to be buddies with the second one because we didn't want the second one to be lonely, and then the second one died.
I did not know that the second one died, but okay.
Yeah, she's on fish number 3,
But
and it's still alive.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about how you got your pet,
My dog.
your dog.
Okay, so I was in second grade, and we took like this class. It was like once a week. We went to like a different teacher, and we took this class about like writing, and the writing prompt that we learned about was persuasive writing. So that was persuading someone to do something, and so we wanted it to be something that we actually wanted to persuade someone to do. So for my persuasive paper, I wrote about how I wanted to get a dog, and I wrote about all the things that I would like do for it, like how I would take care of it and play with it and stuff. Which, let me tell you, is not true. Well, I mean, I take care of it, but I don't play with him. But I wrote this paper, and my parents liked it so much that I think by the time third grade came around or so,
It was very persuasive.
Yeah, we got a pet dog, and we've had him for, I don't even know.
I don't know, since then. But
Yeah.
I mean, you in the paper you talked about how you would care for it. You would feed it. You would clean up after it. You would clean up its poop in the backyard. You would, I mean, there were an enormous list of things that you were going to do.
Yeah.
How many of them do you do?
Well, I feed him.
You feed him?
I water him.
Yeah.
I take him outside.
Which is literally just opening the door and letting him go out by himself. So you don't have
That's
to take
because
him.
he's smart. I take him for walks sometimes when it's nice out.
Yeah, it hasn't been very nice lately.
Yeah. And he doesn't like playing with toys that much.
Yeah, he's not a big player, but he's also getting quite old. He's, 11, 12 years old now?
Yeah. So.
Now, when we got him, he was an adoption because he had been at the pound for a while, and I guess somebody else had adopted him and returned him because we don't even know why they returned him. So then we adopted him, and he's been really a good dog.
Yeah, he has. He has a track record of running away.
That he does. He is a runner.
We've gotten so many people involved when he's run away before. It's like excessive how many people, like whenever he runs away, like the amount of neighborhood kids and neighbors and just random people in the area.
Lots of neighbors get involved.
People
we don't even know get involved.
Yeah. So I think even the police got involved once. It was like the Crystal Lake or like the Park District Police. They were just driving by the park and they were he tried to get Cubby at one point. Yeah, that was great. But yeah, and we've gotten people that basically, if you know us, you've tried to catch our dog.
If you live in the area, you've helped try and catch him. And he doesn't get out that much, but when he does, he runs. Man, does he run.
Especially not anymore, but just recently even he's gotten out, so, you know.
Yeah, he's sneaky. He's a sneaky dog. But, you know, he makes a game of it. When we get close to him, when we're chasing him, he runs away. He waits till we get really close to him, and then he runs away, and he's like, ha, 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 try and catch me.
There was one time when he got, like, so into the game that he would actually run right towards me, get right close up to me so that I could almost grab him, and I was trying to grab him, but then he would swerve out of the way at the last second. He did that a couple times, and that was crazy.
Yep. But now he's slowing down quite a bit. He's definitely a sweet dog. He's more of a cuddler now.
Yeah.
But he still gets out every now and then.
Yeah.
I'll get a phone call at work saying, hey, I got your dog. Because we do have a collar on him with our phone number on it so people can reach us if he does get out. We don't know about it.
Yeah, there was one day where it was actually the day that our neighbor came back home for the first time, and we were playing outside with her. And then all of a sudden, this car just drives up to our house and stops in front of our house. And he's like, and he comes out of the car and he says, "Do you have a dog?" And we're like, yes. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I have it right here." And we're like, "What?" We didn't even know that he had come, that he had run away. But it was crazy.
That was when he had called me at work, right?
Yeah.
And then I told him where to drop him off, so he came by and drove him home. That's the trials and tribulations of having a dog. Now, we sent you and the dog to obedience training.
Yeah, that was right.
I don't think either one of you learned anything.
He learned how to sit.
Yeah, that's it.
And I'm trying to teach him now how to lay down too, like when I give him a treat, but he hasn't learned it yet. He thinks I have to do the hand motion when I do it, like when you drag the hand down.
Yeah. And
so he won't do it unless I do that. But so I think I taught him wrong.
Maybe you should take the class again.
No. He's too old. You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Oh, that's a fallacy. You can teach him anytime.
Yeah.
Are you saying you're getting too old to learn new tricks?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And you are too.
Yeah. So if you were to get a dog today, would you do anything different? A different dog?
But I already have a dog.
Yeah, that's a great way to avoid the question.
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if I wanted, I don't know.
You see the drawbacks, or do you? Maybe you don't see the drawbacks. I see the drawbacks of you not being consistent with any training with him.
Well, yeah.
Because he can't be off the leash, and he's a runner.
Yeah.
So he won't come when you call.
But I think maybe right now would not be a good time for me to have a dog, like a new one, because I think Cubby understands how busy I get, but I don't have as much time to hang around with him.
Yeah.
But so I don't think a dog right now would be good anyway. But
so, what age do you think having a dog would be good then?
I think when you're younger, like in middle school or elementary school, but then once you get into high school, I think it would be kind of hard. But then after high school, like in college or after college, would be really nice to have a dog. So just not in the high school. Yeah. Anytime but high school.
Well, you'd be really busy in college. But you did say after college.
And so, college, yeah.
College, you won't have time to take care of a dog.
Yeah. What pets have you had as a kid?
Well, we always had dogs. So we had Scottish Terrier, who was really quite an amazing hunter. His name was Charlie. He was a great dog. And we had hamsters as well. And in the middle of the night, he would sneak up on the counter and knock the lid off the hamster cage, and he would get the hamsters, and he would kill them, and he would leave them on the back stairs. And when we woke up in the morning, we'd have this dead hamster on the back stairs, and he'd be sitting there with his tail wagging, saying, "Oh, look what I did! I'm so proud! I'm so happy! Look what I brought you! This dead carcass of your pet." And he did that. We had like 8 hamsters, and I think he killed 5 or 6 of them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's quite an adept hunter.
Yeah.
Because I know he would catch birds out of the backyard. He would catch squirrels. He was just fast. He was quite a hunter. We had a black lab who needed obedience training, and we couldn't do it. And we lived in a really small house at the time, and he just was too much for that house. He was so rambunctious, and he would just tear through the house, and he would knock things over, and he was just too much of a dog for a small family with a small house. And then we had, when I was really, really young, we had it was a collie. His name was O'Brien. He was such a sweet dog. But I was pretty young when he ended up dying. Charlie, I think, was the coolest one because we had him for a very long time. He was a stray that just happened to wander by our house, and he was in really bad shape. And he was starving, you could tell, because he was emaciated, and he had very little flesh on him much anymore. He had, matted and rotted, not rotting, but matted fur, and he was just a mess. So we gave him some food, and of course, when you do that, he never leaves. So he never left, and he was quite an amazing dog. I truly think he appreciated us taking him in and essentially rescuing him from the streets. Because after that, I mean, he never left our side, and he was just such a fun dog to have. He had some other accidents too. He was hit by a car once and broke his leg. And then he got out once and somebody shot him with a .22. What the doctor suspected was a .22. Shot him in the head too.
Oh my gosh.
And he was so fortunate because the bullet went in one part of his head and came out the corner of his mouth, and it didn't hit anything vital. I mean, he was so lucky. So he really just had some soreness and, some wounds that we had to dress, but he was a lucky dog, man.
Wow.
Great, great dog. He ended up dying because he got something called, I think it was called the Asian flu or something like that. It's something that dogs can sometimes get.
What?
And he ended up essentially, he just got sick and couldn't stop getting sick. And then he was quite old at the time, so his body really couldn't take it. But he got very, very sick, and that's when we had to put him down. But he was just a great dog. And then my parents, after that, they had gotten another Scottish Terrier who was a really nice dog, really sweet, but not quite the same. I think you have like one great dog, and then you try to keep getting other dogs to equal that, and I don't think you ever really do.
Yeah.
Maybe you do. I don't know. But a lot of it has to do with time, too. And, when we had Charlie, it was a great time because we were young and we could take care of him. And when we got older, and we just didn't have time for a dog once we got into high school, like you said.
I know Mommy, she had a cat.
Yeah, Higgins.
that had a big M on his forehead.
It was one of those, I think it was a Maine Coon cat, and it had this M imprinted on its forehead. It was like in fur. It was like black fur that had the letter M on the middle of its forehead. And it stood for Murder Michael because that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to... He had it out for me. And he had it out for all men, really. I mean, he hated people. He loved Mary. He hated everyone else. And so it was really quite a bizarre cat.
Yeah.
He would slash at my ankles, and sometimes when he was up on furniture, he would slash at my head.
Oh, my God.
He would hiss at me. It was just the nastiest little cat.
Yeah. And then I know you had a friend. Didn't he? You had a friend who had a pet tarantula?
Oh, yeah, Tom, yeah.
Yeah.
That thing lived quite a while. He enjoyed it. I mean, he bought it crickets, and it would eat the crickets.
Oh my God.
And, yeah.
I could never imagine doing that. I saw a tarantula once when we went to the nature center in elementary school.
Yeah, you're not a fan of spiders.
Oh my gosh, I have an actual phobia. That's
yeah.
Oh geez. Okay.
Now you had a guinea pig at one point too.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Do you remember its name? I don't remember its name. Guinea. Okay. Yeah. Real creative.
Well, I was in elementary school then.
Yeah.
Can't blame me. Yeah, he was great. Or was it she? I don't remember.
It was a girl. Yeah,
it was a girl. Yeah.
She. And she was a nice guinea pig, but she was another one where I think she was forgotten most of the time because she was a novelty in the beginning, and you played a lot with her in the beginning, and then after a while it's like, oh, I got to clean the cage again.
Yeah, and then whenever my friend came over, that was like when I played with.
Yeah, because she wanted to play with her.
Yeah, and she bit a part of the pinky off of my friend's finger once. That was funny. And the guinea pig liked to like when I took it out of the cage and put it on the ground, it would run around.
Yeah.
I remember almost losing it.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
Yeah, and we took it outside once too and had it just sit in the grass. That was kind of cool.